So many thanks for having us. I'm going to start by saying a little information about Safe. We are essentially started the company as a deep tech, producing facial biometrics and liveness detection technologies. And out of that technology that we still produce nowadays, we built a fraud prevention product centered on facial biometrics. And here today, I'm going to show how to use it to prevent account takeover. So a little bit about us more. We have other products as well. We have been processing, millions of transactions throughout the years. We take a really important approach in terms of privacy with the data that we process and store. And throughout the years, we have also submitted our technologies for public evaluation and attended a few different challenges where we could prove the benefits of the technology. So basically, if you are on our web page, you can test GoSaffe, which is the product that I'm going to demo now. By hitting this button, try it now, you will land in, you of course need to sign up, but it's just necessary that you confirm your corporate email and you will land on a web page, on a console like this one, right? So I'll start by showing the architecture of this product, right? It's a product that, it's really take into consideration the easiness, the convenience of the both company that is integrating the product as well as the end user that is authenticating. So basically, we render a capture component anywhere. We can render the component into mobile applications, and we can render it into web applications. We process everything that we need to process and deliver the result of the transaction that we analyze through a webhook, right? We have several SDKs to cover all, integration requirements that you may have. And this console, you can not only, have access to the documentation, but you can also do things like setting up the capture interface, having access to the credentials, both for the sandbox environment as well as the production environment. So following this architecture that I'm showing here, what I'm going to do now is to actually do verifications. So at first, so that we can see the result coming up, I'm going to just set up a webhook in the panel right now. So we expect to see the results coming here, right? So I'm going to the integration tab. I'll do that here, right? And anywhere you are in the product, you are able to render the capture component through this test capture button. We can also, render it here through the same button at this tab, where on top of testing the capture experience, you can customize it. You can change the language to other languages. You can customize the instructions you present to the end user. You can customize primary and secondary colors, as well as you can set up the flow you have, right? I'm going to show the verification flow, and if we have time, I could show the onboarding flow as well, where we could add, document capture, where we could, do forensic analysis over it, face matching, and another additional checks. So let's go get directly through the demo, right? I'm going to do a verification. So this is a parameterization screen, and here I'm able to immediately render the capture experience, but I could also, instead of rendering it, I could generate a QR code to send to someone, or a dynamic URL, and I can even send a WhatsApp message asking the person to authenticate, where the results of that authentication comes up to your webhook that you set up, right? So let's do the verification first. So here I'm gonna frame my face, get a little closer, and that's it. So here we have the webhook, right? Real time with the analysis that we typically do for a verification transaction. We first do device analysis, where we establish this device is healthy. There's nothing pointing to the fact that a virtual camera is being used or an emulator or something like that. We also do liveness check, right? Right after the device analysis, and in this case, we also did face matching against the onboarding that I had previously done, right? As you can see here, we also delivered the image through encoded in base 64, and there are ways of authenticating this webhook so you avoid getting wrong information into your environment. Out of all this information that we collected, we did not store, for example, the facial image because of our privacy-first approach. The only thing that we actually store out of this information is metadata. We didn't actually store anything personal. And as a matter of fact, the only personal information we retain in GoSaffe is the biometric template that is used to enroll the person. And we take a very serious approach in terms of anonymizing it with secure multi-party computation as well as encryption, right? Here, I have another tab to show how easy it is to integrate this capture component, right? I have here basically a very simple web page where if I take out these 2 lines of code, there is no body, a blank page, and if I take them back, I have it here, the capture component rendered. Here I have the onboarding, the type of transaction. I could change it here to verification, and having the same interface that I had directly through the console, right? At last, I would like to show how this could be done through the smartphone, right? The capture component is responsive, and you can even sign up and test directly into a smartphone. If I hit the button here, test capture, I'm gonna have the same experience I had before. So I'll do a verification, and this is all, of course, in order to prevent account takeover. Yeah, and now we can see here the second verification coming up and presenting basically the very same results, doing device analysis, liveness check, and face matching. What I could also do in my mobile phone is to make an onboarding transaction, right? So in this case, as I have set up to collect my ID pictures, I could take here directly my smartphone pictures of my ID. And do a selfie. It takes a little bit more time. We are checking also with external data to make sure all the personal information matches with public data and during the forensic analysis in the document. And here we have it, the onboarding transaction, right? So let's have it. This website takes a little to refresh, but here I have the onboarding transaction, very same information as I have before in the verification, with the addition of both front and back images of my ID, the OCR that we extracted, the classification of the document that we got, and the matching of the information that we extracted through OCR with public information. So this is a solution running in Brazil, but we can also offer it in other regions. At last, another point just to emphasize is that we didn't keep any of this information in our domain. So anything that we extract with the OCR, all the images, including the ID images and everything that we delivered to you, was delivered to you and deleted from our premises, only retaining the biometric template that we got on the onboarding. And that's it with the demo.
Awesome, Giovanni. Thank you so much. That was great. You can see it's a real. We're actually in there, right in the inner workings of the system. Miguel, any questions?
Yeah, sorry, give me 1 second here. I know that I had a question written here. I just trying to pull this up. Oh yeah. What protections do you have against deepfakes?
Yeah, so we analyze several different things. We collect, information from the environment we are capture, where the capture is running, and we also measure, many different things while we interact with the end user. It's really fast in the experience, but even in this case, we can process, several frames per second and measure movements, reaction, lots of different things to compose, with the metadata and tell if that, the device is compromised or the data that we are collecting is compromised. We are able to tell, for example, if, there is some artifacts coming out of, a deep fake manipulation on the image, even if it's being rendered real time.
Yeah, and so is it within a state, or is it during the whole, are you able to pick it up during the whole time, or is it just during the beginning, the first 10 seconds?
Well, as long as, we open the camera, we already start measuring things.
Oh, cool.
That yeah. It takes a few seconds, but, it's a lot of information we can collect from that small session.
And you mentioned Brazil. You said, "Hey, we do this in Brazil. We do other places as well." So, is this a global solution, or where do you have your solution rolled out?
Yeah, good point. So, for account takeover, we can process everywhere in the world. We can even process locally for data protection, data regulation issues. We also can do onboarding globally. Through processing the ID pictures via important partner that we have, but it's off the shelf. If you want to use it for account takeover, we can. If you have a reference image of that person, you can enroll it via a REST API that we have associated with the service.
Yeah, with different ID formats, etc. globally, do you have all those different formats already registered in your system out of the box?
Yes, that's right. And we do this through a partnership. So
oh, cool.
It's a global partner that we have that process, hundreds of different templates and countries.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. On that, thank you so much, Giovanni, for joining us. The demo was awesome.